What's up with my boys and, in some cases, gals? All over a guy who never dies. Jeffrey Epstein? That creep?
So women just naked in rooms with no music.
Hey, people walk around. It wasn't. Listen, it wasn't nothing wrong with that. I was happy to be at that party, but then at the end of the day, when I started looking at some of these girls' faces, I was like, man, these girls don't look like they're old enough.
So do you understand what they're saying here? He's saying, I went to this Trump party, and after a pageant, he had a lot of these girls go to this party. They were underage.
That's just weird, man. Donald, this is a bad look, bro. This is a bad look, man. Come on, gang. I want to have faith in you, bro. You can't be going on True Social doing this, bro. Crashing out. You look like a liar, my brother. You look so guilty. Please stop.
And this was all happening out in the open. And remember, Trump
Just
ran
be
these,
honest, man.
This modeling agency. Trump ran this Miss Teen event. Trump ran Miss Universe, I believe it was, for a while. There's stories about him walking in on these girls while they're getting dressed and then being fucking mortified at that fact. Like, what are you doing? But he owned the...
They weren't mortified. Nobody came out and said they were mortified. Nobody's even said that it was weird. Well, a couple people have. It is weird. Because he admitted to going in there when they don't have any clothes on Howard Stern. He said that out of his own mouth. And he was grown as hell.
I believe it was, for a while. There's stories about him walking in on these girls while they're getting dressed and then being fucking mortified at that fact. Like, what are you doing?
You're exaggerating.
Pageant, so we felt like I could do whatever the fuck I want.
He's
right?
exaggerating.
Here we have validation. Underage sex parties, underage orgy parties at Trump properties.
I don't like when liberals do that. They throw a bunch of extra shit to make it sound worse when they don't have any irrefutable evidence to back up what they're saying. So they just try and like sprinkle on some more terrible terms to just sensationalize it. I hate that.
I don't know why this isn't a bigger story.
I didn't ask nobody their age, and then all the other stuff going on. You know, it was like, okay, I can't be up here. I gotta go. If I'm going to jail, then somebody's gonna extort me. I really, you know, I don't do drugs. Never did it in my life. You know, I smoked marijuana 2 times, you know, when I was in high school, and I didn't like the experience. As far as drugs, I may have sold drugs. I never liked the people who I sold them to when I was young because I thought they were stupid for buying it, so I never cared to indulge in it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So when I do see people doing it, if I'm around it, I get away from it. Mm-hmm. Put it that way.
And here, Uncle Luke again talks about showing up. He was there with Mike Tyson. He was there with other celebrities. And he talks about how the girls there were so young, he didn't want to be around it. He thought that he could also be extorted if he was there. Listen to him in his own words again, talking about the event. Let's play it.
The thing, let me tell you, the thing is, when you're around, I've been around a lot of models and a lot of these pageant women, because that's what mostly it was. It was mostly pageant women.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of these women ain't of age. So when you got a whole bunch of these women running around, whether they
Those are girls. Those are girls, not women, bro.
Of age or not, you know, there's a lot of things going on. You just, you know, some women look too young.
Oh,
so you keep it moving.
I see.
You know, so it wasn't nobody beating no women or nobody taking advantage of no women. I mean, they were all enjoying themselves. That's what they were there for. But were they old enough to be enjoying themselves? I don't know.
Was there sex?
Of course there was.
I guess that's a stupid question not to ask. Okay, so I think I got you now. You're saying,
bro, horniness, lust will take you it'll take you to places that are so sick and so debaucherous, bro. That's why we need God, man. Stay away from the evil.
That all this was going on and you weren't clear as to whether these were adults.
I wasn't clear whether or not they were adults, and I wasn't clear whether or not, you know, whether I wanted to be in that kind of environment where some of these other things that was going on in. I ain't gonna too much elaborate about everything else that was going on outside of the sexual act. But
well, my brother, we love for you too. We love for you too. That's why we on Sirius XM. Because we can open up. We on Sirius XM. We can bust it wide open right here.
The drugs and the alcohol and the sex and all that. But I ain't gonna talk about the drugs and the alcohol and the sex.
But but now you did say that if you were on XM you could talk about it, so that's why we here, man. I mean, people, inquiring minds want to know.
I said I can use the profanity and all that there, and talk about naked people and all that. But then I ain't the drug part. I don't want to talk about that part of it.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Were they drugging people, man? Don't tell me they were drugging people. They're wiping a little thing around a champagne glass.
This goes way deeper than even I thought, bro. I mean, my mind was blown when I saw that this motherfucker, he was 40-something, 50-something years old, and he owned a modeling agency where he was handling girls as young as 13 and 14 years old, and they were scantily clad in front of him. And then you got that story that was, what was it, the Daily News, I believe it was, New York Daily News, talked about the underage women at these sex parties at the Trump hotels, and he participated in that. That was on the record in 2015, 2016.
I can't run defense for this, bro. I can't defend this. That's weird. Any normal person is like, that's kind of weird. Now, things were different in the 90s. People didn't look at it as that bad. Like, we're looking at it through a modern 2025 lens, like post-COVID, not even post-censorship. We're still in the kind of in the thick of it. But I know things just weren't that deep in the 90s. But like, not one time in my adult life have I ever, even when I was 18 years old, I was afraid to talk to girls over 17. That's just because I've heard so many stories and so many, like, I was during like the Me Too stuff, and I was like, you know what, I just can't be bothered. This is just, no, I'm cool. But what's sad is that I never in my life one time ever have thought to myself, maybe 17, 16 years old is enticing. Their frontal lobe is so underdeveloped, bro. Most women that are adults that are not conservative are just fundamentally retarded. Now, imagine a child. Why would you want to engage in that? Why would you want to take advantage of somebody that is so, someone that's just so green, so young? Like, they still have, like, there's still an aura of innocence around a 16, 17-year-old girl. Especially ones that haven't been exposed to just debauchery and evil.
And I really hope the conservatives are listening to this, because this is really important.
Go ahead, bro.
You guys told us for
Let's talk
so
about it.
fucking long, particularly when it comes to Hollywood. Hollywood is they're satanic elites who think that they play by different rules and they get away with all these criminal things because they view themselves.
You're using satanic as an insult, and you just categorize conservatives, people that are by and large evangelical Christians, Bible-believing individuals, and then you're going to use the term satanic to describe Hollywood when you seemingly are liberal, or you hold more liberal ideas. The party that wants to cut off little boys' penises, that does, you know, everybody in Hollywood is essentially left-leaning. So your own political affiliation, I don't want to jump the gun. He could be libertarian, whatever, but I get the liberal vibe. Bro got a bunch of roses above the fireplace in his background. Yeah, like he has the hair. You do look very Democrat, sir. So your party is satanic. Your party is evil. Your party is retarded. Your party doesn't believe in borders. Your party wants to tax the mess out of people. Your party was given $2 billion to Indonesia to like do weird gay plays and underwater basket weaving.
As above the rest of us. This is what you guys tell us. This is what you've been saying for a hot minute. Well, now we have a story. Well, here it is. Here it is. Donald Trump owning these pageants, underage sex parties, casually inviting other celebrities to it, playing by different rules, getting away with. There's 27 different accusations of sexual harassment and sexual assault against this man, and a lot of the women have shockingly similar stories. Shocking. He had to pay out millions of dollars over one of the cases, the E. Jean Carroll case, for example. Here it is, the thing that you said you were worried about, the satanic Hollywood elites who play by different rules and think.
I don't know why like liberals think that conservatives are in a cult, bro. We sacrificed our relationship with so many family members and friends, and were ostracized from society because we supported Trump. If that doesn't mean we're not in a cult, I don't know what does. Like, who says we're in defense of this? I'm calling this out every day.
Can get away with it and think that they're special, think they're God's gift to this earth, but they're not. And they're unholy and they're unchristian. Is there anybody less Christian on this planet than fucking Donald J. Trump? Here it is. It's right in front of you. And you guys got duped. And you fell for it. And you voted for him. And you supported him.
Every single person in a position of power on the left side of Congress. Yeah, there's a lot of people less Christian than Trump. Trump made an executive order protecting Christians in America. Like his first week in. That man is not perfect. Trump is not no saint. He is, I'm not even going to say he's a good person. I'm sure Trump has done some dirty shit. However, he's done so many good things that the Democrats under no circumstances would ever do. You got to give him a little bit of credit, man.
And you sat back and you watched him cut healthcare for 17 million people like he did in the big bullshit bill that just passed. And what do you have to say about it now? Nothing. Watch, by the way, all these fucking right-wingers who are struggling desperately, the Tim Dillons and the fucking Alex Jones and all these bro podcasts who are like, this is kind of weird, bro. Why is Trump, like, kind of hiding this Epstein stuff, bro? Will a single one of them do a detailed segment talking about how Trump was involved in international human trafficking, like we covered the other day?
The problem with the left is that they'll go so hard on who they don't like and will never acknowledge who they do like. That's their issue. I go hard as heck on the left because I can't stand those retards. But I also make videos exposing Trump for being a liar. That doesn't exist with the Democrats. It's such a hive mind. That's like unheard of.
Will a single one of them talk about this story? Where you have a famous rapper on the record saying, I went to a Trump party and there were underage people having sex. And I felt like, hey dog, I'm not comfortable. I got a dip. Will any one of them talk about? Will
I already did.
Talk about Jeffrey Epstein on literal audio tape saying I was Trump's best friend for over a decade? Will any one of them bring up Michael Wolff and what he said in an interview recently? When he said, I was working with Jeffrey Epstein, doing all these interviews with Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey showed me some of the dirt. And one of the things was there were about a dozen pictures that Epstein had of Trump. One of them included girls of an uncertain age, topless, pointing at Trump and laughing because he had a stain on his pants, and some of them were bent over. Will any of them talk about that? It's oh, bro, it seems like something's fishy here with this Trump thing. Might as well not look any deeper and tell people the truth and just...
That's why I don't ever want to get too close to the sun when it comes to content. And by that is, I don't want to ever... Like, the moment you get invited to the White House, you're cooked. The moment you're having meetings like Charlie Kirk with the president, I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a conservative. I don't care if we fundamentally agree on most things. You're in the government. You're involved with, like, the most satanic, disgusting, evil people in the world. And you're politicking with these people on a daily basis. I don't want involved in that garbage. Now, if Charlie Kirk's getting called up by the White House saying, hey, you need to stop talking about this Epstein stuff, that goes directly against the First Amendment. But Charlie Kirk is... What, are you a coward? What, Charlie? Are you afraid? Okay, master. Okay, daddy. I'll shut up. I'll run defense for you because I'm bought and sold by the government. And I just tell you that the left is bad. You think Republicans are saints? Just because Republicans believe in borders like you do and don't want gay people to be able to, like, adopt kids and cut their penises off, doesn't mean they're not robbing you. Doesn't mean they're not lying to you. Doesn't mean they're not pocketing your tax dollars.
Just keep saying it's fishy as opposed to telling everybody the ironclad
Don't
truth
trust
is
the government,
this guy
period.
is in the Epstein files. He is a co-conspirator in the Epstein crimes. Say it or shut the hell up. But shout out to the Midas Touch guys. This is a huge story. Guys, spread this story far and wide, please. Spread this story far and wide. CNN should pick this up. MSNBC should pick this up. All the major networks should pick this up. How is it not already in that position? Look, I'm happy that CNN did the, hey, here's the resurfaced pictures from Trump's wedding in 1993. Jeffrey Epstein's there. Here's Epstein and Trump at the 1999 Victoria's Secret fashion show. I'm happy that they did that. But let's be serious. The bigger story here is verified, validated, another celebrity says underage sex parties at Trump properties. Damn. Now imagine for a second, this was a story about Barack Obama throwing an underage sex party, which is literally a fucking pedophile party. What would the right say about that? They'd be screaming to arrest him right this very second. So get the word out there, spread it far and wide, y'all. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps.
This is so weird, man.